Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Rida from DICE Analytics. I would be your host for this session and would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of DICE for today's webinar on contextual marketing era. DICE Analytics is very glad to have an experienced professional like Mr. Omar Shahid as our guest speaker today. Mr. Omar has a master's degree in business administration and started his career with a marketing research vendor, but moved to the telecom sector after a few months and has been associated with the telecom sector ever since. He has worked with two leading telecom operators in Pakistan and is currently associated with Saudi Telecom as advisor customer value management. Mr. Omar has been working in the analytics domain for over a decade now and is passionate about the analytics and campaign management, the convergence of technology and business. In today's session, Mr. Omar will be enlightening you about the fundamentals of contextual marketing. He will be discussing the difference between contextual marketing and traditional marketing with examples and use cases from the telecom sector. And he will also be elaborating on the role of customer data platforms with respect to contextual marketing. Also, this webinar will be followed by a Q&A session at the end, so you all are requested to kindly note down your queries and questions during the session. That's all from my side. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Omar.
Thank you, Rida. Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thank you for joining this webinar. My name is Omar, and Rida has already shared my introduction, so we'll skip that part. This webinar is about contextual marketing in telecom sector. So I will begin the presentation now. Marketing. As we all know that everything over the year evolves. So marketing as a discipline is also an evolving subject. The depth and breadth of marketing has evolved over the years. And now over the years, the focus has shifted from product to customer. Now, instead of focusing on the product itself, the focus is on customer. And the focus is also shifted from sale to brand. So like in the past, the goal was to make a sale, to make a transaction. Now the goal is to build a brand, to have a relationship with the customer, brand value, modern world. And the advertisement mediums, the communication channels through which we engage our customers, they're also changing. So like maybe 2 decades back, magazines were the preferred mode of advertisement because people would read newspapers, people would read magazines. But right now, the readership of magazines and newspapers, it is on a decline. So you see that more and more advertisement spend is being shifted towards mobile devices, towards websites, digital channels. So marketing as a subject is evolving. And as part of that evolution, one of the changes that has come in the recent years is that the focus on data and data-driven marketing has increased many folds. Now, the focus is to make decisions based on data that can, provide you with the understanding of what the situation is, and it can help you build reasonable estimates about the future outcome of your decisions. So instead of taking decisions based on gut, the focus is to use hard data to take marketing decisions. One of the contributors behind this change is that the cost of storage and processing data has reduced over the years. Now it is cost effective for companies to store large amount of data, and they have systems and technologies and platforms available that can process that data for marketers so that they can take decisions related to marketing activities. One of the other benefits, yes, Mariam, you have raised your hand. Mariam, do you want to say something? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I will go back. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So I was saying that one of the benefits of data is that you can actually test your theories about customer behavior and take informed decisions. So like if there is an event that has happened, instead of just making a wild theory in my mind that what was the reason for that, data allows you to actually validate what happened, what was the background, what did you do as a marketer, and what is the result. So you can have your theories and you can validate them with the help of data. Data analytics is a specialized field which is now coming into focus, and it is the point of this field is that you can extract insights from data and then use those insights to aid your decision-making process. Now, as marketer, as data analyst, there are some patterns that you can see, but there are many hidden patterns in the data which are not visible to naked eye. We cannot see them because they're not visible to us. The patterns, one of the reasons is that we cannot even think that there is a pattern between these two variables, or how are they related, or the relationship is too complex, or sometimes it is not clear. In that context, a new field, which is data science, it is coming up and it is picking pace because it allows the use of machine learning, advanced algorithms, and statistics and business acumen. You combine them together, and then with that you can identify behaviors and patterns which are not visible to the naked eye. So uh, uh, marketing is changing, the role of data is increasing, and within data analytics and data science are coming up as new fields, and data science is one of the most hot future preferences in the coming years. Moving on. Now, the relationship between telecom operators and data. Telecom operators have extensive amounts of customer data available with them. The very nature of the business is that every successful activity that you do, it gets recorded. You make a call, it gets recorded. You send a message, it gets recorded. You use data, it gets recorded. You change your location, it gets recorded. So the very nature of telecom business is that whatever customers do, that activity gets recorded. And the sheer volume of data, it is mind-boggling, because like for a country like Pakistan, it's a huge country, 220 million people, and then you have 4 operators, and like for example, just Jazz alone has 70 million customers. So you can imagine, if when that amount of customers do an activity, they generate data, the sheer volume of that data would be huge. That data in its raw form is stored, it is processed, and it is transformed into usable formats, and then it is made available to marketers so that they can use that data for their activities. But the data that is available to marketers, it is not individual customer level data, because that goes against the very essence of privacy. It violates customer privacy. So marketers do not have access to individual customer data. What they have access to is aggregated data. Aggregated data basically is that you have that the data is one, it is masked, so the customer identity is not available. The other is that you can request data, for example, in the forms of groups or segments. We'll come to that in the later part of this presentation, but it is not available at individual level. So while I may be able to know that I need a group of customers who have not performed any activity in the last, let's say, 7 days period for my campaign, I will not have access to individual mobile numbers to track and to see what was the behavior, because of customer privacy and data protection laws. Moving on, CVM. CVM stands for Customer Value Management, and it is the science and art of managing customer value. So basically, in telecom, we divide a customer's life cycle from the day they join a network to the day they leave the network in 5 stages. One is activation, when a customer has bought a new SIM and is a new entrant on your network. Then there is a growth stage, that the customer is familiar with your offers and services and products and services, and now they are trying more and more services. They're buying new offers, their usage is increasing. So we call this stage the growth stage. Then comes the maturity stage. At this stage, a customer has figured out what is it that which offers and services and which products are required to fulfill their needs. And then there is a stage which is called dominancy prediction. In this, you predict that the customer is likely to become inactive in the future. And then there is a retention stage, which is basically when the customer has become dormant or customer has left the network. So let's say I'm a customer. Today I buy a new SIM for Telenor, for example. So I will be in the activation stage. I am a new customer. Now, because I've just bought a new SIM, I am not really sure what are the products and services. I may have done some basic research before buying a SIM, but obviously, because I'm a new customer, so I am not familiar with all that Telenor has to offer. What are the voice offers? What are the data offers? What are combination offers? What are value-added services? What are recharge options available for me? Things like that. So this is the stage which we call activation stage. And in this stage, the goal of a CVM marketer is to handhold the customer, to inform them, to educate them that now that you are with us, you can, these are the offers available with you. These are the channels available with you. For example, you can shop through retail, you can shop through website, you can shop through mobile app, like that. Then the growth stage comes, so that when a customer buys a new SIM, sometimes they're not sure how much voice minutes do they need, how much data do they need, what is the usage going to be. So they buy a product, they test it. For example, I start with a daily offer. Okay, now it is not enough for my needs, so I move on to a weekly offer. Sometimes I try a monthly offer, but again, it is not fulfilling my needs, so I move to a different monthly offer. Things like that. This is the growth stage, when a customer is experimenting with different offers and products and services, and figuring out which offers and services will suit their need the most. The stage at which customer has figured this out, that stage is called maturity. Now a customer is not uh, uh, now the customer knows which offers and services will fulfill the needs of that customer within the budget that customer has. So that is a stage which we call maturity, because now there is no more experimentation. A customer's spend will become stable. For example, Ufone launched their supercard many years back, and many people moved to that supercard. Now those customers, they're at a maturity stage. They will buy a card once a month, and that card will last them the entire month. So they are at the stage of maturity, because they will not experiment with different other offers. They will know that whenever the offer ends, they just need to buy a new super card, and that card alone will get them through the month. So that is what we call the maturity stage. Then there comes a dormancy prediction stage. At this stage, you predict with the help of data science that this customer may become inactive in the coming future. Maybe because they have come across a better offer from your competition, they're not happy with your services. Could be any, they think you're expensive, they're having network challenges. For example, or mostly because they have come across a different or more attractive offer from the competition. So this is a stage where you predict that the customer will become inactive in the coming future. The customer has not become inactive, it is predictive. So it is proactive. You are predicting that the customer will become. And then there is a retention stage, when a customer has actually become inactive. They have stopped using your services and they have moved to a competition. This is a stage when you see that in the Pakistani market, there are many SIM lagao offers, like win back offers, that if you have not used your SIM for the last 30 days, put your SIM back in your phone and you will get, for example, thousands of minutes, thousands of MBs, and thousands of SMS free for. So this is a stage where you are doing activities to win back the customers. This is by and large what we call the CVM framework, that you decide a customer is on which stage of their life cycle, and then you tailor your activities according to that life cycle. This is broadly the definition of CVM framework. Moving on, traditional telecom use cases. Now you see this life cycle. You have identified that this customer is a new customer, they're at activation stage, this customer is at a growth stage, this is at maturity stage, and dormancy prediction and retention. Based on this framework, you build some use cases, that what do you want to do with the customers? What will be the use of this data, or what will be the use of this framework? So the traditional use cases that we have in telecom most commonly are dormancy revival. A customer is on this dormancy prediction stage. Like, for example, in this orange bar, you have predicted that they will become inactive in the coming future. So the goal of your activities, marketing activities, is to maintain previous level, to keep them active on the network and to stop them from going inactive. Upselling. A customer is in the growth stage, they're buying offers, you want to upsell them even higher. So, for example, if they're spending 15 rupees, you want to spend them 20 rupees. If they're spending 20 rupees, you want to spend them 25 rupees. So you want to upsell them. Then cross-selling. Cross-selling basically is that, okay, a customer is buying a voice product, you want to sell them data. A customer is buying data and voice both, you want to sell them value-added services. These are cross-selling activities. Usage-related campaigns. Related to upselling also, but for example, if a customer is for example active 5 days in a week, you want them to be 6 days active in a week, because the more they're active, the more they will generate revenue. Devices campaigns. A customer is using a feature phone, a basic non-data phone, you want them to upgrade to a data handset. pagey to bundle campaigns. A customer is using your network without any offer, and the pagey, which is pay as you go traffic, it is expensive. So you want them to buy a bundle campaign. You want to buy them a bundle because bundles are cheaper, and they means that the customer has committed an amount, so they will likely stay with you till the validity of that bundle. For example, if I make calls without any offer, I may get charged at 2 rupees or 3 rupees per minute. But if I have an offer, I will get charged at 10 paisa, 15 paisa per. So you want customers to move to offers so that they don't experience bill shocks, and they don't switch to other operators thinking that you are expensive. Revival campaigns, like I said in the last stage, retention stage, when customers have become dormant, they're not using your network anymore, you want them to come back to you. So you launch these sim offers or win back offers where you say, you have not used your offer for the last 30 days, come back with us and we will give you a reward in the form of freebies, free minutes, free data, free SMS for 30 days period, for 10 days period, for 15 days period, could be anything. But the goal is to get customers back on the network. These are traditional telecom use cases that we usually execute on a day-to-day basis. Now, moving on, the overview of CVM or in the Pakistani market. Basically, you have a data warehouse department that stores raw data. Then you have a business intelligence department that builds reports and extracts insights based on that data. And on top of that, you have a customer value management department that uses that data and that insights, which is coming from data warehouse and BI. How do you do this? I mean, you have the data, then how do you launch your campaigns? How do you design them? How do you apply your selection criteria? How do you do that? The most common way is the Pakistani market right now, two campaign management solutions. One is SaaS and the other is IBM. They are in use and they're more, sorry, Radha, can you hear me? I got a notification that my connection is unstable. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. These two are the most commonly used campaign management solutions in Pakistan. And then there is another thing which is called batch versus real time. Now, what is batch and what is real time? Batch basically means is that your campaign is for a group of customers. It could be 10 customers, it could be 1,000 customers, it could be 1 million customers, it could be 10 million customers. But it is a group of customers, and it is not in real time. It is after some time. And real time means that it is a one-to-one campaign. The campaign that you launch, it is just for one customer, and it is based on some real-time activity. I'll come to this part in the next slide. So before that, let me take you back. This is the framework that you build for customers. These are your most common use cases. Now, in order to execute these use cases, what you need to do is you need to segment your base. You need to create a group of customers who fall in these categories. So let's say this is one example of a batch framework, which basically is that you have your base, you take your base, and then you divide it into two parts. For one example, high value, and one is mass. Mass means customers who are low value or average value customers, and high value means who are generating the most amount of revenue for you customers, for you as customers. Then in the mass segment, let's say you say, I want to divide customers into two parts. One is customers who do not have any balance. So they should be they should be a target for recharge activity. One is the customers who have balance. They should be a target for spend activity. Within reach, now coming to let's say spend, taking an example of spend, you say, okay, I will further segment this base into multiple parts. Who are my voice users? Who are my data users? And who are my value-added users, value-added service users? Now, within the voice segment, let's say I identify that I have this many customers who are low value, and my definition of low value could be anything. For example, I say any customer who's generating less than 25 rupees in a month is a low value customer for me. And I identify 1 million customers. Out of that 1 million, I say, okay, half a million, 500,000 customers, they have balance with them. So these 500K customers should be target for my spend activity. But then I further divide that plan into how many are voice users, how many are data users, and how many are value-added service users. users. Okay, I say that 100,000 customers are voice users. Now I further divide that 100,000 segment into different voice, let's say, sub-segments. Voice grower, these are the users whose voice usage is increasing. Consistent voice, these are the customers who are using, they're on a certain voice level. So let's say they generate 1,000 minutes a month and they are consistent at that level. There is a voice decliner for these customers, the voice is going down. There is voice dormant, these customers have stopped using voice, they're not using my voice service anymore. Voice non-users, these people again similarly, they are also non-users. Then SMS, this framework is from some years back, so it is not updated. SMS is not that an important part. And then IDD, people who are not making international calls, or people who used to make international calls but they have stopped. Similarly, within the data, you can have data users, you can have people, data grower, you can have consistent data users, data decliners, data dormant, and non-data users, and like that. Then for each sub-segment, you will have a strategy. And then there will be some analytical input coming from data science, that how can they help or how can they provide added insights for your campaign. The idea of having this framework or these sub-segments is because you want to be as targeted as you can. Because let's say I have a customer who has a feature phone. Let's say they have a non-data enabled phone and I send them a data campaign. What good it will do? It is a waste of resources. The customer will get annoyed because they have received an irrelevant offer. They cannot possibly take that offer because they could have used that resource, that time, that system bandwidth to target another customer who has, let's say, a data enabled handset. And then when I will calculate my result, I will say, okay, I targeted, for example, 2 million customers, and I only got a few hundred conversions. My results will not look good because I targeted the wrong segment with the wrong offer. So the idea of this segmentation approach is to be as targeted that your offer matches the need of your customer. So you create very, very small segments, and then once you do a campaign, you evaluate it. So, but here, as you can see, these are segments. So this will be a group of customers. Well, let's say I take the example of voice dormant, people who are not using voice. Now, it could include customers who stopped using voice 2 days back. It could include customers who have stopped using voice 20 days back. Because it is a group, the group will depend on the definition that I will use. That what is the definition of voice dormancy here? People who have not used voice, made a voice call in the last 7 days, or people who have not made a voice call in the last 7 weeks. Whatever my definition will be, it will be a group of customers. And this is what we call a batch. That a batch is a group of customers who have, who at the given point in time have the same characteristics. So let's say, again, just to say, data grower, people whose data usage has increased. Now, if your data usage has increased from 1 MB to 2 MB, you are a data grower. If your data usage has increased from 1 GB to 2 GB, you are a data grower. It would depend what my definition is, and whatever the definition would be, it would give me a group of customers, a batch of customers. Now, moving on, contextual marketing. What is contextual marketing? Contextual marketing is that, as applied by the name, that marketing activities should have a context. They should not appear to be arbitrary random events. So when a customer receives a campaign, the campaign should have a context. It should not be an arbitrary, let's say, arbitrary event. So for example, if I go back to this slide, let's say this slide, and I say I have a campaign for a voice dormant customer. So now, and my voice dormant definition is, for example, customers who have not made a voice call in the last 2 weeks. Okay. Now, for a customer who has not made a voice call in the last 2 weeks, it would include people who stopped using voice yesterday, people who stopped using voice day before yesterday. So it will be anyone who has not made a call in the last 14 days period. One day, so let's say I am a customer, I stopped using voice, and I have bought from Telenor, I have moved to Zong, for example. And my Telenor SIM, because it is an old SIM, it used to be my primary SIM. I still have it in my phone, and I have stopped using that SIM for a very long time. Let's say I have not used it for 2 weeks, or let's say 3 weeks. And one day I get a message that make a voice call and you will get this reward. This can appear to be an arbitrary event, a random event, that you have received a campaign randomly without any event. It is not dependent on any activity that customer has done. It is a marketer driven action. But in the case of contextual marketing, there is a context, which means that the activity is driven by the customer. Customer has performed an activity which has provided marketer with a context, and then the marketer will decide the action based on that context. So, for example, what is a context? Like I just said, it is an event which allows a marketer to develop a meaningful understanding of a customer situation. And then based on that understanding of the situation, customer can tailor the marketing activities to the needs of individual customer. Let's take an example. For example, low balance trigger. You are a marketer and you have received a real-time intimation that customer has run out of balance. There is a customer called customer X, and they have run out of their balance. Now you have a marketer have received this information in real time, and you have the opportunity to take some action based on this information. What can you do? One action is that you can send customer a recharge campaign. You can say that, dear customer X, your balance is over, recharge right now, and for example, get free minutes or free data as an added incentive. Okay, let's say you do a campaign like this. But consider this: you have received the trigger like really late, around midnight. So do we expect the customer to go out and in the middle of the night and do a recharge for this free minutes or free data? Like, would it make sense that at 1 a.m. in the night you will ask a customer that, because your balance is over, go out and make a recharge activity? But what if you have received the trigger, for example, in the afternoon? It would make sense to ask a customer to recharge because it is daytime. But if you receive the trigger, let's say late at night, so instead of asking the customer to recharge, a better option could be that you give the customer a loan. You tell them that because it is late at night and it is not possible to recharge at the moment, we are extending you a loan that will get you through the night, and then in the morning you can recharge and return the loan. So, sorry, just a minute. Let me see the chat. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So what I was saying was that so the event is that you receive information in real time that a customer has run out of balance. Just based on the day just based on the time, the hour of the day, your actions can change. If it is in the afternoon, you can ask the customer to recharge, because it is possible for the customer to go out, buy a card, or get easy load, or to a retailer and ask them for easy load, and then in return they can get some reward in the form of data or MBs or something else. But if it is late at night, it is not wise to expect the customer to go out and recharge. So in that case, maybe you should offer them a loan and ask them that, because you're a valued customer, we are extending you a loan which will get you through the night, and in the morning you can recharge. So just based on, so the event is the same, but just based on the hour of the day, your marketing action can change. This is what contextual marketing is about, that you change your actions according to the context. But now let's consider one more scenario. You're going to offer a customer a loan, but let's say a customer has mobile wallet. For example, you are working for Telenor, and you know that the customer has an EasyPaisa wallet, and they also have a balance. So should you offer a loan in that case, or should you ask the customer that use your EasyPaisa wallet to recharge? Because in that case, the customer does not need to go outside. And no matter what hour of the day it is, even it's 4 a.m. in the morning, the customer can still recharge because they have a digital wallet and they have balance in that wallet. So I hope that you guys are getting the idea that in case of contextual marketing, you will change your activities according to the situation and according to the information that is available with you. Going back to this, let's say this batch framework, let's say you come to this recharge, you target all customers who have no balance. You will ask them to recharge. Maybe they have a digital wallet or no, maybe they have what hour of the day it is. in a batch, you will select a group of customers, and then it is not possible to target each customer differently, because it's a cluster of customers. You cannot launch one-to-one campaign. But in case of a contextual campaign, it is based on a real-time event. An event has taken place, and the activity is happening in real time. So it is possible to have one-to-one campaigns for each customers. Let's look at another example, airport alert. You receive an alert that a customer has connected to the cell site which serves an airport. What would it mean? That, okay, I am a customer has connected to an airport cell site, so maybe the customer is traveling. Okay, now we don't know if the customer is traveling domestic or international, but from a telecom marketer perspective, if you find out a customer who's connecting to a telecom to an airport site, you can say that, okay, maybe the customer, you can offer the customer a roaming offer. This is an opportunity to sell roaming offers. So you can send a campaign to the customer that these are the roaming offers available. You can visit this link, or you can go to this app page, or let's say to check what are the roaming offers for different countries. But let's say you receive an information that a customer has connected to the cell site, but will you target everyone? What if the customer works at the airport? Are you going to send him a daily campaign for roaming? What if the customer lives, for example, nearby, and the cell site covers that area? Will you keep on sending messages every time you receive a trigger that this customer is connected to the airport? Similarly, receiving the information that a customer is near the airport, and then between taking actions, you have to do some filters. You have to identify if this customer is connected to the cell site multiple times in the past or not. If yes, then you can say, okay, maybe this customer lives here or works there, so they're not the target audience for roaming campaigns, so I should not annoy them by sending irrelevant offers. But if a customer has connected to the airport cell site, for example, once in the last 2 months, 3 months time, maybe they are traveling. It is an opportunity for me to sell them a roaming offer, because they may be traveling internationally. So this is what contextual marketing is, that based on some real-time event, you define a context, you build your understanding of a customer's situation, and then you offer them a campaign. Moving on, CVM contextual campaigns. And now this is a comparison between this slide that I just talked about and sorry, this framework. So, okay, CVM contextual campaigns. The past is that you're doing your campaigns based on rules. So you define your own rules. For example, let's say a customer who's spending 5 rupees per day. This is a rule, and I want to target, and I want them to spend, let's say, 7 rupees a day. This is my rule. In the future, it is predictive modeling, that you don't make the decisions based on what is going inside your mind. You have a predictive model that can tell you that from this group of customers, these are the ones who have the potential of increasing their spend. So let's say I have 100,000 customers who are generating 5 rupees per day. And in the past, I will do a campaign based on a rule that, let's say, I will ask these customers to generate 7 rupees so that they get some free incentive from my side, free minutes or free MBs, or any free offer or something. This would be a rule-based campaign. But what a predictive modeling campaign would be, that a predictive model tells me that out of 100,000 customers, these 20,000 customers have the potential to increase their spend. So I just target those 20,000 and I do not touch the remaining 80,000, because even if I target them with a campaign, they will not do anything for me because they don't have the potential. Maybe they are low income customers who cannot afford, or they are dual simmers. They have multiple sims and their spend is distributed across multiple networks. So this is the difference between a rule where a marketer would think what the marketer is going to do, and in predictive modeling, a prediction model is going to help the marketer decide what should be the target segment, or Then in the past, your focus is product driven, that you have a product, you want to sell that product. But in the future, in the case of contextual, the focus is on customer driven, that what is the need of the customer. For example, like I said, that if a customer is at the airport, I would not like to upsell that customer a monthly data offer or a weekly data offer. I would think that, okay, if a customer is traveling and maybe the customer is traveling international, at this point in time, a roaming offer is more suited to the customer's need. So I will not focus on my product, that this is a product which I have to sell. but I will see what is the need of the customer. In case of recharge, for example, I said that if a customer has run out of balance, and as a marketer, you want customer to recharge, but you will see that, okay, it is late at night. At this point in time, the focus should not be on recharge, the focus should be on customer need. So a loan is a better offer, or a loan is a better campaign than recharge, because it is not possible for customer to step out of their home in the middle of the night and then find a retailer to recharge. So this is another thing, that the focus is shifting from product to customer. Then one day lag versus real time. In case of a batch campaign, you have past data available with you and you take your action based on past data. Real time data is not available. In telecom, most of the data that is available on day -1, which means that you have data till last midnight. After that, so let's say today is 20, sorry, I forgot the date. Today is 23rd. So the data that I will have available will be till midnight 22nd. Now I will come to my office at 9 a.m. in the morning. I will set up, I will start working. And for example, I come up with my first campaign at 10 a.m. By that time, already 10 hours have passed till midnight. So the data that I have is at least 10 hours old. As the hours will go by, for example, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Let's say by 3 p.m. I want to do a campaign for customer who have no balance. Now, by that time, 15 hours have passed. The data I have is 12 a.m. midnight last day, and I am 3 a.m. on the 3 p.m. on the next day. So 15 hours have passed. It is possible that I select customers who have no balance, and many of them have already recharged. So they will get a campaign which will be irrelevant. As a customer, they will think, why are we getting a recharge message when we have already recharged, or when we have recharged already? So this is what it means by one day lag, that the data is old. But in case of real time, you're receiving a trigger in real time that the customer has run out of balance. So, or the customer has connected to an airport cell site, or the customer has, for example, changed their city from Lahore. They have entered Islamabad. Could be anything, but it is a real time event. So there is no lag. In case of old, previously there used to be only one channel, which was SMS, that you will send a message to the customer. In case of contextual, it is multi-channel. You can have multiple channels. You can have your SMS, you can have your website, you can have your mobile app. You can even use call centers for this. These are multi-channel. You can have social media as a channel. You can the future of contextual is multi-channel. And in the past, the focus is only on revenue, that you want the customer to generate revenue. But in case of contextual, because you're focusing not just on revenue, but on the needs of customer. So the result is that you get your revenue, plus you get customer loyalty, because customer feels that you're serving their need instead of just trying to get more and more money out of them. So this is the batch is the past, it is the old, and now the movement or the shift is toward future, which is contextual. And these are the key differences between these two approaches. Moving on, I talked about data science in the beginning. I've got 3 slides on data science just to show the power of data science. So for example, this is something which we call behavior segment. What you see in front of you is a spider map, and this map tells you that this cluster or this group of customers is a premium user, which means they are generating a good amount of revenue for you, and you're calling them premium. They're heavily engaged. What is the smartphone penetration in this cluster? What is the data penetration? How many are using digital channels? How many are using digital channels for recharge? What is the loyalty score here? How many are using bundle? How many are using WhatsApp? What is the traffic, Facebook, Twitter? So this is one example of a data profile generated by the data science team based on a customer's telecom behavior. So they have taken the usage data of telecom customers and they have created a cluster, which is and the cluster is premium user and it is heavily engaged. This is the name of the cluster. And these are the key KPIs. Penetration, data, smartphone penetration, data penetration, what is the usage on social media app, how many are using VoIP, what is their revenue, what is the number of active days, what is the recharge, all telecom KPIs. So this is what a behavior telecom profile looks like. This is a lifestyle segment that you take a customer's GSM data, you build their behavior segments, then you do some inferential segmentation, you have some psychographic data, and you create customer profiles. like, for example, socially aware, they're conservatives, they are young professionals, or for example, their mall visitors, what is their favorite app, what is their favorite music app, are they cricket fans or not, are they using Islamic services or not, are they travelers or not, Uber Kareem, are they online shoppers or not, for example, Daraz or Amazon or other, are they social media users or not, Twitter, WhatsApp, are they commuter or not, for example, like I said, if someone works at the airport, so they're connecting to the airport site every day. So you can say that, okay, this customer is connecting to multiple sites. So, for example, this customer at night connects to this cell site. So this is probably his home. And then in the morning, this is connecting to this site. So these are workers. They're moving from their home location to work location, or commuter. Customer from Lahore has entered to Islamabad, then to Karachi, then to, let's say, Bahawalpur. So they're traveling, they're commuting across the country or between cities, things like that. Like domestic travel, you can also predict your age. Okay, this customer looks like is a young customer or is an old customer, a millennial, a generation Z, generation X, things like that. So these are also lifestyle segments that you can create with the help of data science. Now, moving on, some use cases for contextual marketing, which I think, let's say, we have talked about roaming. The picture that you see in front of you, it is King Fahd Causeway. It is the land border between Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. People from these two countries use this land border to travel from one place to another. It is a 20-kilometer bridge that connects a city called Khobar in Saudi Arabia with Bahrain. So now STC, they have a contextual campaign going on here, that they know that people who connect to this, let's say people who are traveling or who connect to the cell site that serves this land border, which means that they're going to enter Bahrain from Saudi Arabia. Many people over the weekend, they travel into Bahrain for just for the weekend, because for Saudi citizens, there is no visa required, and for the Saudi Ikama holders, residents, they can get visa on arrival if you have a valid Ikama, and it is free. So many people travel from Saudi Arabia to Bahrain for vacation, to spend the weekend and then come back. And because of this frequent traveling, all operators, they have roaming offers for Bahrain, because you're going just for the 2 days. So you will not buy a new SIM in Bahrain just for 2 days or 3 days. So what will happen is that whenever you reach this border, you will receive a real-time message that this is a roaming offer for Bahrain. Now, what we do is, whenever anyone connects to the cell site, we receive a real-time trigger that, okay, this customer has connected to the cell site that serves the border. We will filter out anyone who's connected to this cell site frequently on a daily basis, because those will be border guards, they will be the immigration officers, they will be people who live in the vicinity, in the area. You will remove them. You will see that, okay, I have received a trigger for Umar. Now, is Umar connected to this cell site multiple times in the past? Has Umar connected to this cell site multiple times in the past weeks or months? If the answer is no, for example, I live in Riyadh, so Umar's city is Riyadh, for example. According to the data, Umar lives in Riyadh and now has connected to the land border, which means Umar is about to travel into Bahrain. So this is an opportunity to tell Umar that, Umar, these are the roaming offers available for Bahrain. So that when he crosses the border, he already is aware about the offer and he can subscribe to the offers beforehand. This will serve two purposes. One is that even when Umar is out of the country, Umar has generated revenue for us by purchasing a roaming offer. The other is that Umar will not have to buy. If we don't give a roaming offer and Umar goes to Bahrain, for example, the only other option for Umar is to use free Wi-Fi or buy a local SIM. So the goal is to stop that money from being spent in Bahrain and to use, let's say, here in Saudi, by offering a roaming offer in real time. So this is one example of a contextual campaign. Moving on, for example, retail partnerships. There's another campaign going on which we're working. For example, we have partnerships with retail outlets. So, for example, you enter into a mall, and you will, and that mall has, for example, 1 or 2 or 3 retailers who have a partnership with the network. And as, for example, let's say STC. STC has a partnership with, for example, brand A, and STC customers are eligible for a discount on brand A. So when you enter a mall, for example, any mall XYZ, and brand A is available in that mall, you will receive a real-time campaign that welcome to this mall. There is a special discount available or a special offer available for SCC customers on brand A. So visit the shop and get amazing discounts or something like that. So for example, as you can see in front of you, this is a message. There's a store called Virgin. Virgin has a partnership with STC. So when you shop at Virgin, you get loyalty points for STC. Or alternatively, you can use STC loyalty points to make purchases at Virgin. So you go to a mall, for example, there's a mall called Sahara Mall. You enter that mall, you will receive a message that welcome to Sahara Mall. Go to Virgin and check out amazing discounts for STC, or you can use your loyalty points to make purchases at Virgin, or you make purchases at Virgin and then you will get loyalty points for STC. This is an example when I made a purchase at Virgin, and in return I got 3 loyalty points. So as you can say, thank you for choosing Kitaf Partners Virgin Megastore. Kitaf points earned from Megastore is 3. So I made a purchase at Virgin, and in return I got a telecom reward in the form of 3 loyalty points. This is an example of a retail partnership. Now let's say, just to explain this example, let's say Mobilink or Jazz. Jazz has a partnership with, for example, Dockers at Centaurus Mall in Islamabad. Now, and let's say you're a customer, you enter Centaurus. For example, let's say you've entered, you can say that you've entered, so maybe you've entered with the intent to purchase something. Now, Centaurus has many shops. It has got Dockers, it has got WAZE, it has got many other shops. So you will go to different shops, you will see what you want to buy, and then you will make a purchase. But the moment you enter the mall, if you receive a campaign that there is a special discount for Jazz customers at Dockers, so the chance that you will first go to Dockers to check out that discount, it increases. So because you can assume that anyone who's entering into a mall, they have some tendency to make a purchase. And before they have visited any shop, you have used that information to give them an offer about your partnership. So this is another example of a contextual campaign where you have inferred that anyone going into a mall is going to make a purchase. So before they go to your competition or before they go to any other retailer, you inform them about your offer, so that their first stop is your partner. Let's say Dockers in this case. So let's say there's a 5% extra discount for Jazz customers at Dockers, hypothetically. So any Jazz customer that will go into Centaurus Mall, they will get a message that there's a discount, extra 5% discount for you for just being a Jazz customer. So you will think, like, for example, if I have to make a purchase at Dockers, Levi's, Dockers in Giordano, maybe I should check out Dockers first because I'm going to get extra 5% off. This is another example of a contextual campaign. Moving on, data trial. This is another most commonly used telecom handset, that when a customer is using a feature phone or a non-data handset and they switch to a data handset, which is a data-enabled handset, you give them a free data offer. So let's say I was using a non-data phone, and now I have purchased a smartphone. So in real time, I get an alert from my operator that congratulations on buying a new phone. We have, let's say, rewarded you with 1 GB free as a gift or as a data trial. So if I were using a non-data handset, so it means I was not aware about mobile data. I was not using mobile data because my handset did not support it. Now, when I have switched to a data handset, it means I have the capability to use mobile data. Now, if I get a free data trial offer, let's say 1 GB or 2 GB for 1 day or 3 days or 7 days, and I say, and the operator says, okay, here is a gift from Jazz to you because you have purchased a new phone. Start using our data and experience high-speed internet on the go, for example. Now, it is a moment of customer delight because customer has received something in real time as a reward, as a gift, without doing anything. And then some of those customers, they will start to use data, and that gives the marketer the opportunity to generate data trial. So the customer will see, okay, what is the benefit of having mobile data all the time? They can connect to WhatsApp, they can connect to social media on the go 24/7. They can also experience that your product and service is good. It is high speed internet. They're able to watch videos, stream videos. So out of that, so let's say you have 1,000 customers, you offer free data to 1,000 customers. 100 customers start using your free data. Out of those 100, you have maybe you convert 10 to actual data users because they like having data availability 24/7. So with this, you have converted, at the end of the day, you have converted 10 customers to your regular data users. So this is another case of contextual campaign where based on a real-time information, you have made an activity, and as a result, you have tried to convert non-data users to data users. Moving on, because what I've talked about is mostly telecom, because I come from telecom background. So I tried to look for contextual marketing use cases from some other industries to see what are some of the other examples where contextual is being used. So I have, I think, 2 or 3 examples to show you just at the end of the presentation. This is an old use case, which is Taco Bell and WAZE. Taco Bell is a fast food chain in the United States, and WAZE is a mobile. It's a map. Sorry, it's an application like Google Maps. It is owned by Google. It's a map application. It is a navigation application owned by Google. So Taco Bell is a fast food retailer in the United States. So many years back, they ran a campaign on WAZE. So whenever people who were using WAZE for navigation, like we use Google Maps for navigation, and people who were using WAZE mobile app, and whenever they were in the vicinity of a Taco Bell retailer, they will get an alert in real time that this is your nearest Taco Bell and this is an offer for you. You can see the screenshot, for example, this customer is using WAZE to navigate, and they have received this Taco Bell alert in real time. And there is a button to click go there. So let's say you're passing by a Taco Bell retailer and you get a message in real time that this is your nearest Taco Bell. And let's say you can say maybe a customer is hungry, so they will click go there and they will take a detour and they will, go there and eat something. And also there's an offer, a variety of 12-pack game day traditions since right now. So they an offer in real time whenever you will pass through a Taco Bell retailer. This is one example of a contextual campaign where, based on customers' location, Taco Bell was advertising its nearest branch and an offer also. Amazon. Whenever you make a purchase on Amazon, you see this frequently bought together. So let's say this customer was going to buy a camera. Now you will see at the time of purchase, you will see frequently you're buying a camera. There is a need that you will need a camera bag also. And you will need a memory card to store those camera pictures also, which you're going to take, because DSLR pictures, they are quite big in size. So this is another example of a contextual marketing campaign where when you're going to purchase something, and and on the application or on the website, you receive information that these are the items that are usually purchased together. So let's say you go and purchase a mobile phone, you will see a mobile cover or a screen protector as frequently bought together. Because if you're going to buy a mobile phone, you need a mobile case and you need a mobile protector also. Similarly, let's say anything, for example, you're going to buy a shirt, let's say, you can see a tie with it, that these are the items which are frequently bought together. You buy a formal shirt, a frequently bought together item could be a tie. Or let's say you buy a polo, you can get an alert for chino, that polos are usually bought in together with chinos. So this is another example of a contextual campaign where Amazon is based on purchase history of other customers, is suggesting you which are the items that you should buy together. So this is another example of a contextual campaign. Yeah, I think that's about it. We have finished in 45 minutes. So if you have any questions or comments, sorry, before that, just one thing. I did not have enough time to add a slide on customer data platform, but I would still like to talk about it. You see, all of this that you're doing here, for example, this roaming, this retail partnerships, getting messages in real time, receiving information that a customer has changed the handset, this Taco Bell and WAZE frequently bought together. These are actions that are taking place in real time. These are all real-time instances. For example, if you go to an Amazon website, you add an item to your cart, the moment you're on that page, you will receive a frequently bought together item there. This roaming campaign, the moment you reach the border, you will get a message. All of these actions are taking place in real time. And it is not possible to process data in real time, which means that in order to launch real-time campaigns, you need to have capabilities, you need to have systems, you need to have softwares that uh, that have all of this information available, readily available. They have processed the information and it is available in ready to use format, so that whenever you receive an intimation or a trigger, you can initiate an action from your end in real time. This is where the role of customer data platform comes in. Customer data platforms basically allows marketers to have process data available in ready to use format. So let's say I go back to this example that I have connected, there is a real time event that I have connected to the cell site which serves the border. Now, there are some filters which I need to apply. Is this cell site my most frequent cell site? Am I connected to it most often? What is my home cell site? What is my most often location? Uh, am I a traveler, or am I someone who lives in the vicinity? So in that case, we need to have this information readily available so that it can just be checked, and then a campaign can be initiated or not initiated, again depending on the situation. So for example, uh, I, like for example, in my case, a customer data platform would have readily available this information that Umar's home location is Riyadh. So if I receive a trigger that Umar has connected to the King Fahad Causeway cell site, the system will just check what is Umar's home cell site. Is it King Fahad Causeway, or is it, for example, other city? If it is other city, send a roaming campaign. It would be in real time. This is where customer data platform comes in, because the data is readily available in a usable format. This Amazon case, when you add an item to your cart, the system will already have this information pre-calculated available. What are the items which are bought together with the camera, and it will just check those items and display them in the frequently bought together page. It will not go back into raw data and start checking that, okay, how many customers bought a camera, what were the other items which they bought with the camera, and then do a tally that, okay, this item was frequently bought, let me calculate this, and let me then suggest this to the current customer, because all of this is time taking. So all of these contextual campaigns, they are for these campaigns, for these actions, the data has to be readily available, so that actions can be taken with minimal calculation there, because there is no time to do calculation in real time. So this is where the role of customer data platforms come in. They provide you with a 360-degree customer view, with one readily used with all of the information that you need for your campaigns. This is what customer data platform is about. Unfortunately, I got caught up in something and could not make time to add a slide on this. My apologies for that. But anyway, this is from my side on this topic and on this webinar for today. If any of you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. I would try to answer as much as I can. Qazi Usman is asking what marketing platforms are in use by telecoms in Saudi Arabia and Middle East as a whole. Uh, I am not sure. So again, what I know is that SAS and IBM are the ones in use by two operators that I know of in Saudi Arabia. In UAE, I think also they're using maybe SAS, because SAS is based out of Dubai. In Oman, they're using a different or custom built platform. I am not sure about the name, but it is not SAS or IBM. In Bahrain, they're using SAS, which I know of. So these are the ones which I know that most commonly use as SAS and IBM. Generally speaking, marketing automation is part of CDP. Now, I mean, from a when you say marketing automation, can you explain what do you mean by marketing automation? Mohammed Wahid, your question is about generally speaking, marketing automation is part of CDP. Can you explain what do you mean by marketing automation? Okay, you mean the campaigns part. See, so for example, I can answer with respect to, let's say, my experience in this, that for example, I mean the campaigns part. If I've understood your question correctly, what you're trying to say is that the campaign management solution, is it part of CDP? Is that what you mean? If that, yeah. So no, because see, campaign management solutions, they are built on top of your data layer. So you will have a data layer and your campaign management solution. In case you have a campaign management solution, for example, like SaaS or IBM, they will be built on top of your CDP or your data warehouse. So they 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 they're not responsible for maintaining or storing or processing data. Campaign management solutions, they use ready to use, they use the data which is available in the data repository. So for example, if you have a data warehouse, and then your campaign management solution will sit on top of your data warehouse. It will get the data from data warehouse. It will not store the data, or it will not process the data itself.
All right, so if there aren't any more questions, I'd like to formally conclude the webinar. To all the attendees, we hope you enjoyed the session and learned a lot from it. Thank you for your participation. You can email us for the recording or any queries regarding our trainings at info@diceanalytics.pk. I would also like to thank our guest speaker for giving us his precious time and sharing his valuable insights about contextual marketing with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Omar. We had a great time on this webinar with you.
Thank you. There is just one more question here. How CVM is applicable to SMCG industry? So I think from SMCG, you mean small, medium, commercial. What is SMCG? Sorry, I am not sure about the abbreviation. Anonymous. Slow moving consumer goods. Okay, sorry. Slow moving consumer goods. This is a good question, but okay. Slow moving consumer. I to think about it. Honestly, I have not thought about it. Let me just think of an example. Just a second. So yeah. So for example, furnitures or appliances. Uh, Furnitures or appliances, for example, would be one example of slow moving consumer good. I think we can also say that electronics or so let's say I give you an example from an example from here in Saudi Arabia, and it is based on my personal experience and observation, just thinking out loud. There is a retailer here called Jareer. I bought a laptop some years back from that retailer, and that laptop had an issue. So I went back to the retailer, and I had, for example, thrown away the 3 invoice. Now, I went to that retailer and I said that this laptop has this issue, but I don't have the invoice. Here, everything is linked to mobile number. So whenever you make a purchase, you provide your mobile number, and that mobile number serves as a reference. So the sales agent, he looked up let's say, he looked up the he put in my number in the system, and he printed a duplicate bill for me, and they provided me with a replacement laptop. Now, in the traditional CVM framework that we've talked about is that you're building the idea of a CVM framework is that you want to build a relationship with the customer. Now, laptop is not something that you will make a purchase very frequently, but just because of the level of service, because they have a customer repository available where they can find out records and they can serve customers in real time. The next time I had to make a purchase, I went back to the same retailer. Now, next time, for example, next time I had to buy a phone, I went back to the same retailer because I know that their service level, their customer repository, or their customer commitment is extremely good. And so maybe not relevant. Let's think of another example. For example, again, the same retailer. I bought an iPhone, for example, from that retailer. Now, here in Saudi Arabia, they run a campaign that whenever a new model comes in, they will run a campaign that you can return the old model and get a discount on the purchase of the new model. So in that case, you know that who are the customers who have purchased an iPhone from you in the past, and they have not upgraded, at least from you, since then. So they can. So let's say the latest model is iPhone 13. You know who are the customers who purchase iPhone 12, iPhone 11, iPhone 10, for example, and they have not made a purchase from you at least since then. And you have an offer going on: return your old iPhone, get a discount on the new iPhone. So this could be one activity for a slow-moving consumer good item, because phones are not something that you change very frequently. But this could be one example of a CVM activity for in case of mobile phones, where you can have a replacement campaign going on, that return your old phone to us and get a new phone from us on discount. This is just one thing that I can think of right now. But I am sorry, I did not think that this would be a question, so I did not do too much thinking about this. Any other questions? I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think we'll be concluding the webinar now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. We had a great time with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for attending. Have a good day.